Okay. On to the next one. So we have an Acer Predator laptop that does that. Not really much to do here. So, going to do two things. One, we're going to pull the battery because it does the same thing on ground power. Two, we're going to reset the CMOS battery. This is a hefty boy. So this should eject that. Yeah, so this is an Acer Predator 17. Like I said, it's a chunky laptop. 2 years old for sure. It's a 2017 laptop. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you like these videos, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps the channel. 100% laptops. All right, so I guess to get to where the battery is, I'm going to have to take this thing all the way apart. So, fan flow. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws are supposed to be on the bottom of the laptop. Fortunately, they are not. There's a battery disconnect here, but that's not gonna help us with the CMOS battery. And then under the panel, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws that are supposed to be there. Let's start over here. So, definitely a long boy screw. This is going to go onto this panel because this goes under the panel. So we're just going to set that there. You have to again read these because they are actually different lengths. I'm pretty sure that that's not the screw that's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's definitely not. So to figure out where that screw actually came from. And that screw actually came from. Not a screw there, not a screw there. Yeah, somebody has definitely had this thing apart. Put it back together however they wanted. Definitely seems like they took it apart, didn't know how to put it back together, lost a bunch of the screws, and then they're like, oh well, this is what we got now. Like this screw here isn't even threading out. Hey, machines were good back in the day. Nice little entry-level, cheap product for people who didn't have like a super heavy use case. Alright, so now we're going to try and remove this bottom here. Let's see. Yeah, I just hear plastic falling all over the place. So it looks like we're going to need to remove the NVMe. That is bending itself. It's a great design. Hate that I have to. Why did this have a dual SSDs? Interesting. Alright. Ooh. Look at this. You can't even see the fan blades. This is why I tell everybody, like, you absolutely need to take your computers apart and clean them on a regular basis. Like, look at this. That is... So this is like an absolute worst case scenario when you have a gaming PC that requires a lot of cooling. This is years and years of just build up that definitely is not letting air flow through this computer. I don't understand how someone can let something get like this. Because it's like fur. That's how thick this is. This, above anything else, should like prove to you the importance of regularly cleaning your laptop fans. Unplug that. Before we put this thing back together, I have to clean those because that is nasty. It is just nasty. Let's see if it turns on at least now. Great. No, it won't even turn on. Batting 1,000 today. Alright, so we are getting the same thing. Do we get the same thing when this is unplugged? Yes, we do. Well, I guess we're going to be taking this thing all the way apart. Let's see what kind of voltage this thing has. We might have a whatever short on this. It's interesting that this, okay, so this goes all the way over here. Never mind. It's a little low, but it's not low enough that I would say that that's why this isn't turning on. What I kind of want to do is I kind of want to go, like, weigh this, clean it, and then weigh it again, just to see how much stuff is actually on there. Could it be this? Not putting out enough power? Definitely a possibility, unfortunately. Let's see what kind of voltage we're getting. 19 volts. Which is about what it should be. Okay, let's get to it. Alright, let's see if we can't locate what is the problem here. I'm going to take off all this Kapton tape. Get all these connectors unplugged. Let's go ahead and remove this, because this is just a daughter board. This is actually a cute little way to extend where a connector is. Just use a board. Has an in and an out. I'll tell you right now, this DC jack is not plugged in all the way. For some reason. See, now I gotta check it. For some odd reason, this cable was 100% not plugged in all the way. This is one of those things where I just want to check every little thing as I'm going through it. Which, that not being plugged in all the way. Oh, this is a laptop, bro. No. So, that not being plugged in all the way could have caused a short. Because the what wasn't plugged in all the way on the cable looks like it was ground. So the negative, like a little dust can be a problem. This much. Clean your stuff. Yeah, it's quite thick. All right, let's get these nasty things out of here. I'm gonna take them outside, get them blown out and clean out. Like look at this. It takes like 10 minutes to just get a can of air once a month and blow it down into there. This is insane. So that was before. That's after. Just a little bit of air. You can still see there's more like on there, but compressed air isn't going to get that out. So you got to use brushes at that point. Just get in there, get it nice and clean. All right. Let's check for some shorts, and we're going to check some voltages. So we have a short on the main. A short on the main power rail. Right now, I'm checking all of these MOSFETs. Getting a lot of, hey, this is shorted. We're gonna end up having to pull this. I wouldn't be surprised if this shorted just from like overheating. Yeah, because I need to see the other side of this board. Yeah, so we have shorts over there. Straight up dead. They're dead shorts. All right, let's get this out of here. Motherboard. Have to lift this hinge to get the motherboard out. All right, hinge out. Two, got those out. Let's give this a lift. I have 2 more screws to take out. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say that this is probably one of the best hinge designs for a large laptop I've seen in a long time. Like, not just relying on a single point of failure, which is just right there. No. Oh, that is a heavy, heavy hinge. That does not want to move very easily. So, we have to make sure we put all those screws back. So we're gonna more than likely end up putting this under the scope. We're gonna probably end up hitting it with some heat to try and locate what is going on here. Just need to move that hinge out of the way just a little bit. Alright, so once we have the motherboard out, we have access now to the memory. This is DDR3. Oh, it's DDR4. Interesting. I thought this laptop was way older than it actually is. So yeah, it's DDR4. Alright, so our power circuit starts here. So, let's see if we can't follow this power circuit a little bit. We do have a copper plate for cooling on the back here. Which just goes to show this manufacturer knew their stuff got hot. And the fact that these fans were so backed up means that it wasn't cooling properly. It's a big uh-oh. So let's get that off of there. Let's check to see if we got some shorts back here. Probably do. See if we have continuity here. Yeah. We have shorts across these inductors, which is directly on the opposite side of power cord. So power comes in here, and then it goes through the board to this. So we have 3 current sense resistors. So we don't have a short here. We have a short on this MOSFET. Doesn't look like it. That's fine. That looks good. And then from there we shoot off into the board. Other than being a little bit dirty, this is good. Alright, let's take a quick peek, see if this is working today. It's going to be more cooperative. Alright. So this cluster here that we're looking at is directly under the CPU, so we're not going to check there. So what I was saying before, just kind of run you through the way this circuit is laid out. We have our main power in. So this is our main power in. Power comes in, flows through these guys, which, am I getting anything through these? No, I'm not. So it flows through those. Once it flows through this, because this is one half of the connector, that's the other half of the connector, it then flows into this MOSFET. This is a current sense resistor right here, which we're not blown, are we? Doesn't look like it. You're not. And then from the current sense resistor, we go into capacitor, which then loops, this capacitor loops back to the power cord just so that it can say, hey, yes, this part of the circuit is functioning properly. This does not step voltage down. This will flow through the same voltage that it's receiving. This one would be the first one that might start stepping it down. So we don't have a short here. We don't have a short here. Do a short here. So yeah, so all this does is this is the first part of a power circuit. This is generally what you're going to find. You're going to have power in. Not used to seeing this. You have power in, it'll go through a MOSFET, and then depending on what the MOSFET's doing and what the rest of the circuit needs it to do, it will step it down or it won't. So we know we have a short here. But this, so we have 38 ohms versus 1 ohm. So this is the ground plane. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a peek. Gonna look around. We're going to... Ooh, that does not look good. Shouldn't be gray like that. It's very gray. Could be nothing. Could be everything. The only way to really test that would be to lift, just come in and actually just lift it off of the board. So we got 3 ohms, 0 ohms. Right, we need to see. Just need to see if anything else on this looks potentially damaged. But like I said, I'm not seeing anything specifically. So, pull this out. Get this going. The DC jack held in by 2 screws. Let me get that removed. And we have to remember that there are certain situations where even without like a way to turn it on, electricity is going to flow through the board. Some components will get warm. And that's just kind of a fact that we have to be aware of. Oh, we're going to do that. All right, so you go over there then. Hopefully it's not directly in the CPU like it was the last time we did this. We have a hot spot here inside this chip. Okay, it's definitely not coming from the other side of the board. So in comparison to my hand is reading at 38C. This is reading at 34C. So it's a little bit cooler. So we're talking about this chip right here. So we can look this up. Do we have shorts here? There's nothing on the opposite side of this board, FYI. Nothing appears to be shorted here. We'll have to figure out what this is. So the other component that was heating up was this guy. No short there. Seems like that's all good. So, what are you? You are a buffer redriver for DisplayPort. This might be a little bit of a red herring. So here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna follow some voltages through the board. Let's give something a try real quick. Because, you know, I love doing that. Everyone loves trying stuff. Everybody. This is the last thing we're doing on this. If we remove this and the short persists, then it's something with that the power control, which is not good. And at that point, we're just looking at I see. We're looking at replacing a motherboard at that point then, which is fine. So if I do this, I should separate these. Oh. Hard to do under a microscope. Okay. I still got to take a little bit more off of there. Just a wee bit more. Tiny, tiny bit. Let's see if we still have a short on this side. We don't. So that isolated this. So we have ground here, power here, going into there. It's fine. Is it coming out ground here? It's not. Okay. This. So, this, whatever this is, this is not ground. It's not supposed to be ground. So, is it one of these? But that doesn't go over there. Check some stuff. Now we're having a little bit of fun. So now, that should be isolated. No, nope, it's not. Still a short there. Still a short there. This is coming from the other side of the board. But this, let's see here. I believe this is supposed to be negative. This is supposed to be ground. 0. Whereas this is 34 ohms, so yeah. Forgot to put this on my silicone mat. So the other underside of this board is transferring a lot of heat to my table. Yeah, so we now know that the short that we're seeing is coming through on this pad, which the other side of that pad, so this, no, I commented on this before. This is the other side of this. Commented specifically on that. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I wanna talk about real quick. Good boys, they are. So we're following the 4 dots that are coming in on the underside of the board from this. So when I first started working on this and I started going through everything, I noticed this and I was like, that's an oddly discolored capacitor. Check our, see how shorted this is. 38. We have 47, 44, 47. So should we get the same? 47. Okay, we might have found something. 45, 0. Sure, it's not that. 45. All right, we're just gonna. This is the last thing I'm gonna do, and this thing's going back together. I'm gonna tell the guy he needs a new motherboard. So, not the biggest. Not the biggest thing, because like I said, I'm pretty sure it's that. Pretty sure it's that power controller, or it's something in the center of the board, which unlikely. Same problem. I got a couple things to do now, so we're gonna put this back. We're gonna add some solder back to that point. And then after we add the solder back to that point, we'll call him and say, hey bro, you need a new motherboard. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance. And yeah, if you want to learn more about my services, check out Bradenton PC Repair.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.